What is a dirty business tactic that you know and everyone should be aware of it? Whenever you are offered a raise, get it in writing. Always. On a related note, make sure you actually read the paper you're signing. Boss just gave me a $1/HR raise, but on the same document it also states that she can now take an allowance of $2.15 out of my tips per hour. Edit. To people saying this is illegal because others, and I are genuinely curious, what law is it breaking? Sources? Edit 2. I'm probably not going to do anything about my boss, just because I'm actively seeking another job, and don't know if what they're doing is actually illegal. I know in New York City employers can use tips to account for part of your wages, so they can justify paying you $4/HR under minimum wage, as long as you make those $4/HR back in tips. I don't know if this was said, but my sister was a member of La Fitness and she wanted to cancel her membership. To cancel her membership she had to log into her account, print, and fill out a cancellation request, mail it to them, and then go in and discuss it with a manager. The managers only worked from 8 to 5, so people who work regular schedules had to go out of their way to cancel. When I wanted to lower the level of my membership, conveniently the reps were always busy and no one could help me. So one day I walk in, ask if I can talk to someone about increasing my level of membership, and lo and behold 2 reps are readily available. They weren't happy when I ended up choosing the lower one. Lol. I used to work for Staples store, and I was told to only tell customers that we have the laptop or desktop in stock if they want to buy additional installation services from us. The reason for that is because Staples, Office Depot or Best Buy, they all make money on those services. That's also the reason why they cut down the price tag and call it on sale/discount. There was one time I witnessed my manager, they will take the product back and say this is actually reserved to another person already. Which is thing shady, and I left that company. If a customer says they are only interested on buying the unit itself, then I would go inside the storage. The techie stuff are locked, so the manager would open the door for me, and we both hang out there for 15 minutes then go out and tell the customers, we don't have it in stock. You know, because it's on sale it's sold out. Tip is to tell the technician or salesperson that you are interested in installing the manuscript Word or do the Windows Update service, which you can do by yourself at home, and specifically tell them you want to see the box first before they install any of the software. Once they bring out the product for you and you have it in your hand, tell them you changed your mind with the installation service. Because you are not paying until you get to the cashier, it's not like they can charge you before you have the laptop in your hand. So-called locksmiths that are basically unskilled drill and replace rip-off artists. Basically they come out, look at your lock, say it will have to be drilled, they drill it out, replace it with a cheap one, then charge you a small fortune. There are legit locksmiths that work out of their vans, which are pretty much mobile shops, and don't have a brick and mortar store. A real locksmith can almost always pick your locks or bypass them, unless you have some serious high security locks, which most people do not have. Note, we are talking about home/business door locks, not car door locks. Edit. There are legit locksmiths out there, but the industry has a bunch of scumbag rip-off artists pretending to be legit. Best bet is to find a brick and mortar locksmith. One who works in/at an actual shop/store. And get his number for any future lockout emergencies. In some places in Europe, you can't just fire people. So when larger companies need to reduce staff numbers, they relocate the office far away from the old one. In the process, they reduce the office size from 20,000 to 10,000 because they've calculated that amount of people will resign rather than commute an hour further. Official paperwork will basically say along the lines of you still have your job if you want, but I need you in the office to work. Or you could resign if you don't like the new location. Okay, I genuinely hope people find this comment. This post is already blowing up, but I'll give it a shot. If you haven't heard of Caitlin Doughty, she's an oddly cheerful funeral home director slash best-selling author who runs the YouTube channel Ask a Mortician. Also, for some reason, some assholes are downvoting most of the nice slash positive comments. It's not me, and all of your responses are appreciated. Might not be everyone's thing. She covers all kinds of death-related stuff, from mummies to Eva Perron's corpse to why crypts don't smell, etc. But she also makes consumer protection videos informing her viewers of all the shady shit other morticians and funeral homes try to pull with their customers. Here's one about how to get the least expensive option. https://yahoo b/mzrtl3kyhbe from a funeral home, and she also covers the bullshit extra fees and tactics that are commonly used to milk more money out of people who are grieving and not necessarily in the best headspace to be making big financial decisions. There's a bunch of other videos covering similar topics and I suggest checking them out. I hope none of you need this information for a long time, but she makes a great point. Most of us don't like thinking about death, and the death industry knows that. Don't be uninformed, be prepared. Edit. Thank you all so much for the gildings and the cake day wishes. I'm completely astounded this blew up and so happy that I could actually give everybody some useful advice. Taken from a previous thread, I worked in the collections department of Discover Card for a while. One thing they did, maybe still do, to lure customers to them is offer 0% APR for the first year. People would jump on this and transfer all their debt onto their new Discover Card, and then the company would conveniently not send the first month's bill. In the fine print of the agreement, it states that if you miss even one payment in that first year, your APR will jump to 29.95%. Half of my calls were to these new customers who would then proceed to throw a fit because they didn't ever get the bill, and I had to explain to them that it was their job to know when the bill was due, and sending one was just a courtesy extended by the company. I hated that job. It ate away at my soul. Debt collectors that buy large batches of delinquent debt will send out thousands of lawsuits a week with insufficient evidence to prove that they own the debt and that the details of the debt they are suing over are accurate. The batches are even sold to them with a disclaimer saying we can't verify that these numbers are correct, and without the original debt documentation, such as cardholder agreement. All they want to do is to scare you into doing nothing, because after service of a lawsuit, there's a time limit for defendants to answer. And if you don't answer, they can just ask a judge to give them whatever they want. Never agree to work off the clock in a shitty job, even if it's for a minute. When I worked as a shift manager at Wendy's, my boss was always trying to get me to work through my unpaid breaks and force people to work off the clock, all in the name of teamwork. Also, Wendy's thinned their crispy chicken patties a while back and served people white American cheese while telling people it was Swiss. Fuck you, Wendy's. If you're buying a used car, or any car for that matter, the check engine light should temporarily come on when you start the vehicle. If it doesn't, the dash has been tampered with to mask a potential issue. Was an intern at Guxy. The reason they sometimes treat you like shit / give you no attention is so you get more tempted to prove yourself as important by buying something expensive. Edit. Let me clarify, they would not treat customers like shit, but rather try and give them the impression of being unimportant so that they would feel inadequate in the environment. It especially worked on some people. A lot of people also probably felt trumped by the employees, as all the employees were wearing full suits with loafers and everything, whilst some customers came in a $20 hoodie and baggy jeans. When you get a crack in your car windshield fixed, and the owner says, I saw your air filter in your cabin needed to be replaced, so I put a new one in. It's only $40, but I can take it out if you really want me to. I said I did not authorize the change and to put my original back in after I knocked the dirt out of it. He had to remove one screw and slot the filter in, then put the screw back. Took less than 1 minute. I checked the price of the filter at the nearest auto parts store, $18 or so.